stay loose, I stay hype. I stay loose, I stay hype. I stay loose, I stay hype. I could do this all night, cause I do what I like. Yeah, I do.
I was really upset because Toe hit me up like, yo, I rewatched The Batman. That shit is trash. I want to talk about it. And I'm like, oh, I want to talk about it too. Fuck. That shit got me tight that I missed that one, but we'll get into it. And I'm here to talk about it. But Toe, you gotta let me know what happened. Cause you liked it in the movie theaters and then you saw it in HBO. You're like, eh.
All right. So here's the thing though. In the movie theaters, I'm watching it and I'm like, all right, here goes Batman. And I'm like, the Batman character himself, I loved. But when I'm watching it again under a critical eye, I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, this shit is dragging like a motherfucker. The second time around, the rewatch value on this shit is very bad. It's dragging.
I hear you on that.
You know,
I hear you.
and then you're sitting there like, yo, a lot of the shit that this fucking guy solved were on some Adam West level type shit. You know what I'm saying? He cut off his thumb.
The thumb drive.
They're in the car. Thumb drive.
The URL.
You know?
The URL thing. I know.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I know,
You know,
what you're saying, man.
Yeah, like I get this. Like that one was like, oh, how did you get that out your ass? Well, what we did was for this two specific scenes, we hired the motherfucker from Die Hard 3 with a vengeance. You just cut it, boom, we got 4 gallons out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? If you got 3 gallons in this one and 1 gallon in that one, you pour the 3 gallons into this one, you got 4 gallons. You literally see the harsh cut into how they got to that fucking 4 gallons. It was like, all right, the Riddler shit I liked. I hate the way he looked. I hated the way he acted the second time around.
That was one of my main things when we got back from the theater, the screaming and stuff.
Yeah. Gordon and Penguin were no. Gordon and Penguin were legit.
Okay.
Catwoman,
it's Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah,
that's what he does.
There's peoples.
Exactly right.
Yeah, there's peoples. Catwoman, it felt like she didn't need to be there. Because, yo, I don't know about you, Cabs, but if you live with Lay and you was like, Lay's into some shit and Lay gets kidnapped, are you going in your refrigerator and getting a fucking thing of milk?
The milk was weird. The milk was a stupid joke. Yeah. I said that too. The milk was weird. But I mean, you know, maybe she doesn't drink alcohol and needed a refreshing beverage, and she chose milk. Some people put ice in milk and just drink it like that. Psychos.
I get it.
I do that too. I ain't gonna lie.
But here's my idiotic thinking, right? Catwoman, who's a cat burglar who could get anywhere, who knows her friend has been kidnapped, knows who kidnapped her, is with the baddest motherfucker in Gotham, who legit snuck up on you twice already. And y'all motherfuckers is just gonna sit there on your phones watching the news. Talk about, I know him. He gets his dick sucked on a regular in my club. What? This club? No, the club underneath the club. Like, so fuck your friend. Your motivation was to find your friend, but when you had an opportunity to go after the motherfuckers who just took her, fuck her. That don't make no sense to me. I don't think Twilight added anything to Batman.
I disagree on that one. That one I disagree on.
So here's my thing. You know how Eddie Murphy made fun of Elvis and he's like, well, this guy can't act for shit. Fuck it, let him sing his lines. We gotta win this race. They were like, fuck it, don't give him any lines.
Yeah, don't talk. Don't talk. But I think he nails the like silent Batman acting. Yeah. And I like the way he. Remember, I said he walks really robotic. He's like super heavy. I like that.
But anybody could have did that. I seen Show do that shit yesterday when he walked in my fucking office because he didn't want me seeing him because he knew I was gonna give him shit. You know what I'm saying? But yo, if we were really like, if this was a movie about a son trying to get his father's approval, this would have been the perfect movie for him.
So what you're saying is no one could have done what Christian Bale did?
Yes. I'm not saying that. But the movie itself had something of substance. You know what I'm saying? Like Christian Bale added to the movies. Even though Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, it was mostly the bad guys, the Joker and Bane.
Mhm.
But this guy is just like if anyone else played his part, you can see it being the same. Whereas
Yeah.
the dude who plays Superman in the new Superman movies, you can't really see someone else acting like him in the Superman movies.
Definitely, like it's not like a Captain America Iron Man thing where
Yeah,
like you can't see anyone else doing that, and whoever does it's just gonna suck.
yeah,
And then I guess it's unfair for Patterson for him to come after so many Batman. I think we've gotten to a
Well-
point in Batman where it's gonna be kind of difficult to give us something we haven't seen there.
yeah.
So
Well, you know what it is? It's like
go ahead.
it's like I'm not comparing him to the other Batman. But when we finished watching Batman vs Superman or Justice League and we saw Ben Affleck, we was like,
Fucking love
"That's
Ben Affleck.
yo, this Batman was dope." You know what I'm saying? Like we're in this
But-
movie. I think we're more towards the. This is actually how Batman was.
But that's what
As to this
Patterson.
Batman's
but
dope.
Patterson brought the crazy to Batman. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of his,
to Bruce Wayne though.
I mean, he wasn't Bruce Wayne. Like he didn't. I mean, you know, he was just not Bruce Wayne. Like he was over all of that Bruce Wayne shit. That's what I'm saying. Like it's funny because we have that in. I was thinking about that. We have that in Batman Begins, where you know Christian Bale, Bruce Wayne. He was ready to. He's like, fuck Bruce Wayne, man. Fuck all of this. I'm leaving, man. Fuck all of this shit. So I think we were seeing Patterson just on that, but just still being Batman.
But-
And I think he brought a little bit more psychological damage to Batman. And I do like how he was just not into being Bruce Wayne at all. And I think we all kind of wanted that, right? We wanted to see more Bat.
No, yeah, but
Yeah,
the thing
absolutely.
is, he was treating Alfred like if he just lost his parents, like he's lashing out. Like the movie would have had more substance if Alfred was like, you do know that you can do more for this town as Bruce Wayne than as Batman.
Well, I mean, I know that his parents been passed, but this is year 2 as Batman. So the more Alfred is like, yo, you gotta be careful. You gotta start doing this. You gotta start doing that. It's like, yo, chill, my dude. You're not my dad. Chill. I didn't like the way he spoke to Alfred.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. And then Alfred, the lovable chap that he is, he's just like, I'm gonna let that slide. Yo, look at what I found over here, though. So this is
Yeah.
you know, just
Yeah.
understanding that this Batman, that Bruce is a little jacked up after the shit that he's seen that one year as Batman. So I don't like how he spoke to him, and I mentioned that the first time. You don't talk to Alfred like that.
Where
You
it's
don't
like,
talk to Alfred like that.
it's like, I'm vengeance. You're not my dad. It's like that happened in the same movie.
I think you're seeing the glitter. I think you're seeing the
Yeah.
sparkles now.
But
The
Batman
sparkles
character-
went through the black suit for you. I
Yeah.
actually think Patterson did great. I like the whole kind of fucked up. He's just like, I love how he's just so messed up. Like that's because you want to know why I like it so much? Because and I'm gonna tie this into some Moon Knight shit later, and I'm gonna talk about like hype and shit. And like how you perceive the hype and shit. I think one of the main reasons I like this Pattinson so much is because we've been saying this kind of shit about Batman this whole podcast, about how he's fucked up in the head, about he has issues, how he doesn't deal with them, how he's still stuck in that. Like, we didn't see the origin, but the origin was all around him that entire movie. You know what I'm saying? The baggage of all that crazy shit that happened with his parents and then seeing the little kid. The way he looks at that kid,
Yeah.
I've never forgotten that. That shit has stayed in my mind like the whole time. But I will tell you this. After watching it a second time, when after Riddler realizes that he like won or whatever, and then all the bombs start blowing up, we could have just left it there.
Yeah.
The stadium, the 500 Riddler shooting at people. Although I love that I love the shot with Batman where it's like he's leading the way, you know, like with
holding the
flare.
kid.
I think and then holding the kid, where it's like the people are realizing, yeah, this guy's kind of weird, but he's trying to do something. I thought that part was important, but that whole third act is the biggest issue with this movie. 1,000,000%. And
I
it's
couldn't
like,
get through it.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I paused a little bit just because I had like other stuff to do and the movie is kind of lengthy. But I was like, okay, maybe after Riddler blows everything up, maybe we could just leave it blown up. And then the next movie we started with the flood. And it's like, after that day, what the Riddler did, this is what happened. And bam, bam, bam. Then we get, maybe that could have been a thing. Definitely you could have cut 30 minutes out of this movie.
Yeah.
But rewatching it, so this is what happened to me, okay? Which is the same thing that happened to me my first go around watching it, which is why I fucking love this movie, because I think the first 15 minutes of this movie is the most Batman we've ever seen Batman before. So it just starts, right? The movie just starts. The weird breathing, I get it, but we get to the crime scene. The first 5 minutes of the movie, we're in there, and you see Commissioner Gordon walking, but the camera's looking behind him. Again, shout out to the cinematography of this movie. Like, goddamn, that you know who's back there. You know who's walking back there. You don't need to see him. You know who's walking back there, and then it solidifies who's walking behind him with all of the cops looking. And then we finally see the Bat when he pulls up to Martinez. Martinez's like, yeah, what are you doing? Get out of here. And Gordon, which I feel like we've heard Gordon say this plenty of times, that he's with me.
Yeah.
He's with me.
That's his line. He's with me.
Walks right into the crime scene. Everyone's freaking out. What the fuck is this guy doing here? And it's like, he needs to be here. This is all for him. And the way he's studying shit, the way he's moving shit, he can't move his neck. When Batman looks left, he needs to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it felt heavy. There was so much weight. He didn't say but like 3 words the whole time. But the investigation, Commissioner Gordon, the way the cops were so tense, when the other dude comes in, Gordon's old partner, he's like, get this fucking crazy guy out of here. All of that felt so Batman to me, bro, that I was like, wow. But I will say I didn't get that initial 15. It does start weighing down. And by the end of the movie, you're not even getting that no more. It's like, all right, guys, let's wrap it up. And yeah, on a second and even third watch, I give it a third watch. I think that's the biggest issue for me as well. The last act was just the being at the event, all of the Riddlers coming out, trying to make it, my lovely followers coming. Yeah, no. Them bombs blow up, movie's over. Patch up in the next movie.
Word.
But I still love the Batman. I still love him.
Or ending with him screaming fucking Bruce Wayne.
Yes. Some real Hugo Strange shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know who you are. And then that's fantastic. So, because then we have a whole nother year and a half theorizing, like, yo, does Riddler know who he really is? Yo, what is the Riddler gonna do? Is he gonna bring in other people? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's perfect. I'm telling you, after those bombs blow up, we can cut the rest of that freaking movie. Obviously, wrap it up nice in a little bow, but we can move on after those bombs blow up. Now, another good scene though, and again, this just shows how strong the first and the second act were, at least for me. When he goes into the iceberg lounge as Batman, and he's fucking people up, and then you just have Penguin, hey, sweetheart, what's going on? And like, bro, Penguin is dealing drugs in front of him. Drops. That's like the number one thing destroying Gotham right now.
Yeah.
But Batman is so into getting Riddler that he's not even looking at that. That's so Batman, him going to these villains like, yo, I'm not worried about you right now. I need help getting this guy. And the Joker in the comics, he was into that kind of funny shit. I'm not talking about the Joker now. He did it with the Penguin. But I love that Batman where he's just, I'm not worried about anything. I'm just worried about getting this Riddler. What do you know? And they have that exchange. Selena Kyle walks in. He sees the drugs. Now, that kind of speaks to one of your stupid little detective things because he sees her boots.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, those are the boots from the picture. They must
only
be
sold
friends.
them. Yeah, they only sold the one pair.
But obviously, I'm being stupid. Obviously, the way she was so interested in the conversation kind of gave it away. But those real intimate scenes where it's just, Batman just being Batman, I think he does a good job at it. But yeah, there's some some quirky shit. I hear you. The URL, even El Rata, Alada, it's kind of like, man, y'all really reaching for some of these puzzles and riddles, you know? And the URL thing, the thumb drive. I like how they acknowledge the thumb drive thing.
Yeah.
Gordon is like, oh, this guy's real fucking funny. But it's like, yeah, some of it was kind of campy and weird. But I mean, it's Batman. You got to throw some camp in there, right?
Yeah. I didn't understand. Is like, why would you think the DA is the rat? Like the DA, his job is to prosecute, the villains. He needs rats. He would know who the rat is, but he isn't the fucking rat. Because that was the whole theory. They thought the DA was the rat, and he was protecting someone. It's like, no, that's not.
It was, and it's funny because Riddler tells him like, "Yo, man, I thought you were a lot smarter than this." And again, this is year 2 Batman working out the kinks, but still, because it is super weird when you're like, a lot of it felt like forced, like, yo, you're reaching on these, you're reaching. But again, the reason I was so hyped at this movie is because we've been calling this shit about Batman this whole time, and it was fun to see a more damaged Batman. It was fun to see because Batman is always damaged, but he keeps it cool. He is going through some stuff in this movie. You know what I'm saying? What he's seen, what he's done, and it's cool. But did Cap and Led, did you guys like the movie a little less after rewatching?
Let Cap go first.
I have not rewatched it.
Oh, you don't plan to?
No, because this is a movie that in my opinion, only requires one viewing. It told the story. It happened in 3 hours. We know what happened. We move on to the next thing.
It happened in 3 hours. That's so funny.
Like, I don't need this. There's nothing in here. I mean, there's little things like the Riddler was in the window in the apartment building across the street the whole time.
Yeah.
They outside of the iceberg lounge. Like, little shit like that is cool, but ultimately meaningless for the plot.
And that flashed by so fast you can't even notice it.
I actually like unlike you guys, I like the fact that we got to see Bruce Wayne, or we got to see Batman the entire time.
I like that. I like that. I was if that point didn't come across with what I just said, like I was completely fine with the lack of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I've said it before. When it comes to Dark Knight Rises and Iron Man 3, I don't give a fuck about Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne. I want Batman and Iron Man. That's all I want. But that was my big problem with those movies, and they solved it with this one for me, at least. More Batman.
Yeah.
I'm not watching Bruce Wayne. I'm watching the Batman.
Yeah.
The thing that I actually liked was I liked the fact that now that I've stepped back and had some time to digest and hear Toe's second viewing of it, now I realized that even more so, this movie was, how did Bruce deal with the trauma?
Yeah.
Well, he created Batman. But in doing so, he forgot the second part. He forgot all about Bruce.
Yeah.
So now we get to see for the first time, as far as I'm aware, in any medium, if they take this route, we get to see him build Bruce Wayne. Which is a very interesting thing because, Michael Keaton was already
Batman, kind of.
Yeah, he was already a little bit of a recluse. Clooney and Val Kilmer were already the suave.
They were already they're already the playboys.
Christian Bale, like you said, Christian Bale was like, fuck Bruce, and then
we saw it a little bit though, because we saw Alfred like, yo, you need to.
He went from that to, I bought the fucking hotel so I can go swimming in the lobster.
Yes.
He just jumped straight to it. Ben Affleck was again already steeped into his shit. This is the first time we get to see somebody actually build a Bruce Wayne. How would he actually function with that mask on?
Yeah.
So that's a little bit intriguing going into the second one.
I'm sorry. I thought you were done. My bad.
No, the last thing I would say is the real reason I don't want to watch this movie again is because Paul Dano is amazing. He's like what I call 99% defense. You know when you play NBA 2K and you do everything defensively right, and the other team gets the rebound and scores anyway? Paul Dano played the Riddler 99% right and then screamed.
Yeah.
And I don't want to fucking do it. I don't want to hear that shit.
And I know it sounds picky, but I just.
No, it was.
What do you think, Le?
Oh, I haven't seen it again either. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay.
And I was good. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was in front of me, and then I went and watched the animated series instead.
Yo, I've been watching the animated series. Well, I haven't watched it in a few weeks.
I was there like the animated series is right there. But I kind of pretty much agree with Cap. You know what I'm saying? I saw it. I agree with you guys and completely. The last half an hour needs to go completely. And we all started putting our stuff on, and then we realized the movie's still going.
Yeah,
we're getting up. We're like, oh, okay, there's more movie. Cool, no problem. I wasn't ready for that. I appreciated detecting. This is what I wanted from Batman forever. Detecting shit. I wanted Batman to do his thing, and I wanted to see mostly Batman. And I got to agree with everybody else is that this is the Bruce Wayne you're getting in year 1, year 2. He is we said it before. His head is fucked up. He needs a therapist like nobody's business.
Yeah,
and some strong meds. You know what I mean? But this is the way he deals with it. He does the Moon Knight shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the problem is, you make a Mark Spector makes Stephen Grant, and he gets lost in Stephen Grant, and he gets lost in Batman. You know, which is once again, I just want to see Batman. You know what I mean? I appreciate Alfred. Once again, my MVPs were Gordon and the Penguin.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm gonna agree with Toe. I don't see the reason for Selena Kyle. I didn't understand why she was in it. She honestly, if it wasn't for that child, they tied her up to Falcone, but Falcone could have just been Falcone, and I didn't need her in it. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it needed a female presence or something like that. Whatever. I would have went with the therapist that knows his family. Like, Bruce, you should come talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Leah Thompson, you should come talk to me. You know, Leslie Thompson, you should come talk to me. I would have went that route, and him not even acknowledging that he could do it and denying that. Like, he has a way to fix it, but he's like, no, I don't want to deal with that like that way. I want to deal with it as Batman, as violently as possible. You know what I mean?
Like, he doesn't realize Batman's toxic for him.
No, what his thing is, he realizes it is, but he still wants to. He wants to deal with it this way. That's how fucked up he is. I wanted that option. Like, when I sat back and think about it, like, yo, if she would have been in it, it was like, yo, you can talk to me. I know it's done so much to you. He's like, no, I want to deal with it in the most violent, unnecessary way possible. Instead of just going to a family friend or somebody that knows you and could help you. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna lie to you. Besides half an hour with no scene in the cow, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the movie for what it was. I got the Batman that I wanted. I got mostly Batman. I don't care if Bruce Wayne was emo. That's cool. It doesn't bother me at all. You know what I'm saying? So I'll take it for what it is, and I can't wait for part 2.
Part 2, we're gonna see
Please,
some
a
stuff.
Court of Owls, please. One of those two.
I think it's gonna be both.
If it's both, that's crazy.
I think how Cap said that, you know, the main villain or villains would be the Court of Owls, but then they need the stooge. They need the guy to take the attention while they're doing all of their rumblings. I think that's exactly what we're gonna see. Maybe we'll see Scarecrow.
Oh yeah. I want to see ones that we haven't seen already.
The thing is though, like, I think because you can redo these characters however you want. There is more of a darker horror element to this Batman. So maybe we might see some really wild fucking Scarecrow that isn't just throwing bats at people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you want to
which
get
I didn't have a
horrible.
problem. I didn't have a problem with him, but like, you could make it a lot more horror-esque. Like, you could do it's a darker flick, you know. So
you want to do horror, Clayface
or Clayface.
Absolutely.
You get body horror. You get the whole aging horror. You get a whole bunch of different genres with Clayface.
Like, I would love to see Professor Pig. Is the way they make their talents. Like, he takes, he kills people and he wires the people so they can be the Court of Owls talents. Like, every century they find somebody that does it for them, and Professor Pig could be that for them in Gotham at that time. At the time of Batman, Professor Pig's a guy who rewires the people to be their talents.
And can
crazy
you
idea.
imagine? Can you imagine a scene, Cap, like the way that Clayface kind of like dies, whatever in the show, that he's just like
Ooh.
melting and morphing into different people? Can you imagine seeing that shit on screen?
Yeah.
That's the stuff of nightmare. That shit kind of bugged me out the first time I saw it, and then rewatching it like later on, that episode, the whole Clayface arc is sad as shit. It's crazy. It's good stuff.
It's a great way to lend gravitas to a second villain.
Yeah.
Because the one thing we haven't had yet in a Batman piece is the sympathetic villain. The villain where we're like, we know Batman has to stop him.
Yeah.
But does he?
But damn, Bat.
Yo, plus, you can also do a thing like they did in The Fly. If anybody's ever seen The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, where he's literally his jaw's falling off.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
it could be really fucking disturbing, and even just like a scene of him like applying shit to his face, and like you can see like the damage that is doing to him little by little, and he just keeps molding it. I'm telling you, man, that episode is so crazy. Oh my god, we were too young to get it. Watch it now. It's disturbing. It's disturbing. I'm doing some animated series here and there. I love how they introduce Selena Kyle in that shit. She just like buys a date with Bruce Wayne, and he's like, "Yo, I can help you with your little organization. What's up?" But like they're each chasing each other through Gotham in their different personas. Yo, that show is. And then they have the 4K remake or the HD remaster that did to the whole thing. Oh, perfection. Perfection.
You know what else I'd like to see in a sequel? I would like to see an actual take on Robin.
Yeah, a lot of people are asking for that.
Like, don't give me a 32-year-old Chris O'Donnell and be like, oh, he's 18. Like, no. Like, let's get a
little 15, 16-year-old kid who's like playing a 9, 10-year-old that Bruce, there's no way of not being weird saying this. I'm sorry, but like
I know I completely agree with you guys. Yeah,
but it doesn't have to be weird. It can literally be a part of that whole learning how to be Bruce. And one of the things he does, rebuild that orphanage.
Yeah,
see somebody who he's like, I think I can really help him, and in learning to be Bruce Wayne again, he brings along Dick Grayson.
No, yeah, I meant there's no weird way to talk about it now without sounding weird, our audience, the kind of jokes we crack. But like in the movie, just like that, like, reopen the orphanage, boom, that's it.
They kind of set it up though with him looking at that kid, like you mentioned, Kev.
Yeah.
When he's looking at the kid, obviously he's like, all right, this is the son of this kid. He's gonna be all right. Like he's rich and all that other shit, but he could see Dick Grayson lose his family trying to investigate who killed Robin. Who killed Robin's family.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Grayson and shit like that. So he could have been on some, this kid got nowhere to go. The child services ain't gonna be here for a while. And like Bruce Wayne, like as a way of him trying to find Bruce Wayne again, he's there. And he's watching the shit and he sees it in his eyes and he's like, you know what? I'll take the kid for now. And, we'll hold him until, we'll see what the fuck is. We got his family, whatever the case may be. And then he grows that way with the kid. The kid would teach him how to be Bruce Wayne.
I would love to see Robin like a troublemaker, like constantly getting into fights at the orphanage. And it's like,
oh, you want to see Jason Todd?
I mean, not yet, but just getting into trouble. Like, yo, Bruce, we can't handle this kid. And then Bruce comes and talks to him, and like he sees a little in him, like, hey, so what's up? Like, fuck you, you rich guy, whatever. And then we could see that, and we could see Bruce's humanity come out through this, apprehensive young Robin,
And
I got a cool thing. Robin. I got something that I think it'll be cool. You could put a massive twist in this. We can have it that Clayface, right, is the one who killed Robin's parents. Right? Whoa. That's what it looks like in the outset. But then we come to find out that Clayface only took that dude's appearance because at the time he was fucking melting And
Yeah,
he just so happened to see him, and that's what he copied. Like, it's not he didn't kill
damn,
Robert's parents, but
that's
that's
wild.
just what he turned to try to hold himself together. And
That's pretty
Batman's been
sick.
chasing the wrong guy this whole time.
That'd be dope.
And it's
That would
almost
that's interesting.
you write it almost as Clayface is now, because Batman's chasing him, Clayface is now being forced. So when that twist comes in, when that reveal of, oh shit, it wasn't Clayface, it rewrites the whole movie as now Batman was forcing Clayface to do all the bad shit he did in the movie.
Yeah,
Because he's like, yo, Batman's chasing me. I need to do this. So he robs somebody, or I need to do that. And he does some other shit trying to keep himself alive because he doesn't know why Batman's chasing him. That'll
it's
flip
like
this whole fucking thing.
it's like that old question, that old chase is like, why were you running? Well, why were you fucking chasing me? Well, why
Yeah.
are you chasing me? Well, why are you running? And it's like, it just kind of, yeah, that's really interesting. I would love to see Clayface. It'd be cool to see someone that we haven't seen. But yeah, you could take it anywhere. I really feel like you could redo a lot of these characters anyways because of the tone of this movie. You could say the same thing for the Joker movie as well. Like, you know, whatever they decide, like if they would have decided to add something there, it would have just been fun to see, you know, their take. You know, Batman, like with all the shit that people talk or whatever, like Batman has one of the best villain libraries of all fucking time. Like, you know, there's good villains everywhere, but fuck, you know, the Joker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because
there's a lot of good people.
I felt like they were made for him. Like
Yeah.
where the Flash has the reverse Flash or the Mirror Man. It's like, how would you combat speed with the Flash? Those are his bad guys. And Superman is like, how would you combat somebody who has everything? Where Batman is like,
He got no
they're
powers. You can't
yeah.
combat nothing.
it's like they're basically either his equals or his opposites.
Yeah, or a lot of them are, or a lot of them like have that same fucked up trauma. There's always something going on with these villains. Most of these villains aren't just looking for power. Like some shit happened. Like you know, the Penguin obviously, you know, he's out there doing his thing, and he has some shit happen with his mom. But some of them are more money hungry than others. Sure, you know, the Falcones or Carmines. But like when we're talking about like some real villains, like yeah, man, their stories are just as sad.
Yo, I just know, Caps, you said something that triggered something in me. You know how we said that we had that question, like, did Batman make the villains or did the villains make Batman?
Yeah,
I think it's neither. I think it's just Gotham.
it's just Gotham. Yeah,
Gotham's such a cesspool, it fucked everybody up.
If that's bro, like and shout out to the way this Gotham looked. I think that's the one thing everyone is agreeing on, that I have not seen anyone. Oh, you didn't like the way Gotham looked?
I didn't like Manhattan. No. It was literally when you zoom out, like it could be Baltimore, Boston, Pennsylvania, Chicago, it could be anybody. Then when you got in there, there's Madison Square Garden, Times Square, like it's clearly New York.
That's what it's supposed to be, though.
Nah, Gotham is supposed to be an amalgamation of shit. It's not supposed to be that distinctly. That's fucking Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I didn't like that part.
We got to see Batman Square Martin.
Yeah,
We've been looking for that for a while.
but like I thought
expected to see a Statue of Liberty out in the fucking harbor.
I thought this Gotham was incredible. But yeah, this and we were saying it too back in that other episode, that the real problem is the guards and the police in Gotham. Like everyone's corrupt. Like like this, you could just expect it out of anybody. You know, you never know who it is. Like if out of nowhere, like if Commissioner Gordon would have been, you know, fucked up in this movie, maybe I would have been upset because he's like the one person you can't touch. But everybody else got some weird past. We got Pro in the building. Gotham is not Chicago. Like that's a horrible rumor. But Chicago is very Gotham. Downtown Chicago has like stone buildings and statues everywhere. It looks a lot like Gotham. It's crazy.
If Batman was walking around with ketchup and mustard, he would be his equal to Condiment Man. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yo, that's one of the greatest fucking villains that nobody's ever talked about.
Somebody
some weird
did,
ones.
and then somebody said, "Shut up, you're an idiot."
Yeah, I believe it was show.
Somebody said, "Yo, no, we shouldn't. Stop that. Stop."
You know, you can introduce him as a Halloween costume.
That's true.
No,
It's
hold
an
on.
homage to him.
Don't they already have
Yeah.
like the?
Well, I mean, this
You do
episode
know-
happened on Halloween.
You do know that, like, if you're making a sword or a knife or something, and you put mustard on the blade, you leave it for a little bit, then you wipe it off. The acid in the mustard corrodes the metal to leave a pattern. There is literally some shit you can do to where you can actually elevate him to be a fucking genius level chemist, and he just happens to use the chemistry within the shit to do real shit. But the media calls him Condiment Man or Batman. Like, people don't take him seriously
To simplify it. To simplify it. Yeah. Just
enough. Yeah. Again,
what was the
we-
shit that
we
you were
used to
telling
make
us
tear
before?
gas out of the shit in MREs. So, like, you could do some real shit with this.
I was literally just gonna ask you that. How you had said it the other. That was way back that you said that shit. Yo, fucking tear gas at MREs. Goddamn. But enough Batman. We'll move on from the Batman. So